the chemical company.
Our conversation about last night's debate is just getting started. Joining me now is host of the Majority Report at majority.fm, Sam Cedar, and the editor of the blog Conservative Black Chick, Crystal Wright. Welcome, Conservative Black Chick. I love it. Okay, so Romney was all over the map, as Obama pointed out last night, but he also he sort of broke even. He didn't make a total fool of himself. Is that sufficient for a president, Crystal?
I would say that Obama broke even.
Yeah.
He got style points on being pugnacious and aggressive.
Obama?
But yes. But I don't think, when you look at the record and who really won on execution, I think that would be Mitt Romney. And I think what's interesting is, while the president wants to point fingers and say, you know, you haven't done this before, Mitt, I have. Well, before you became president, Mr. Obama, you hadn't done much of anything, much less have a foreign policy plan. So if anybody's running a reckless campaign of foreign policy, that would be the president. I think on Iran and Israel, Romney really did a great job pointing out the failures there.
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
I mean, to the extent that there are objective measures of this, all the polling show that President Obama won big. In fact, even bigger than Romney did in that first debate. But aside from that, I think what was really difficult for Romney, in addition to the fact, okay, it may be the case that 4 years ago President Obama wasn't experienced in foreign policy after only 2 years in the Senate. That's a very tough argument to make, that if we go back in time, President Obama is not experienced. Mitt Romney.
But that's what, remember, that's what the president accused Romney of not being experienced.
Well,
he said, you haven't done this.
But he is now.
You haven't done this,
but the president is now.
Beyond being inexperienced.
But he said Romney is a candidate.
Beyond being inexperienced, he seemed to know very little of what he was talking about.
Oh, absolutely not.
Let me show you something.
I mean, do you think well, are you going to play this? Okay.
Yeah. He said Syria was Iran's access to the sea, ignoring the fact that Iran sits on the Persian Gulf. Watch.
Syria is an opportunity for us because Syria plays an important role in the Middle East, particularly right now. Syria is Iran's only ally in the Arab world. It's their route to the sea.
Now, when I watched that clip, I immediately had a bit of a flashback. Here we go.
Some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here.
That was great. The clip was from the 2007 Miss Teen USA pageant.
Now, to be fair, okay, she was not running for president for 8 years and did not have a cadre of advisors supposedly telling her about foreign policy. But, you know, that was just one example. You go down the line, whatever it was, Mitt Romney was basically saying nothing. I would have done things differently in Egypt, but what it was I would have done would have just been I would have postured differently. You know, I'll tell you, but more than it exposed Mitt Romney's weakness in foreign policy, I woke up this morning, I had gone out, I was out watching late. I got up this morning, my wife, who is not as involved in politics as I am, she is literally sitting down to do her Buddhist practice. I said, what did you think about last night? She said, Mitt Romney, this is say anything, got bitch slapped. And I think
it's really funny that you say all this, because if anybody got bitch slapped, it was probably Barack Obama, who said all of a sudden out of the blue, Israel is our greatest ally. I'm sure Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, would have liked to have heard that months ago when the president was here in New York, Joy, and I think he was on The View, the other show that you're on. He had time for The View and a late night show, but he didn't have time to sit down with Benjamin Netanyahu and show him that, you know what, I'm going to take a stand against Iran, and I'm going to show you that. And speaking of the UN, speaking of the UN, all Benjamin Netanyahu said was, I'd like,
you need to leave talking about the debate.
The bomb
then
is
you
here.
know the debate was lost.
And
this is what I'm talking about.
But on the polls,
this is what gets under the skin.
The Gallup poll. Let me finish.
I think what gets under the skin. Hold on for 1 second. Let me finish my point about my wife's story.
You've put on a long time about your wife. She's not here talking. You're supposed to be talking.
I'm talking.
He got bitch slapped.
But here's the point, is that I think this is what really drives conservatives crazy. Because the one thing that they bought into Mitt Romney after the first debate, because he was able to stand up to Barack Obama. But in this debate, he was slapped down hard. And I think this is what's driving them crazy.
Absolutely not. And the polls show, the Gallup poll, shows that Romney is ahead 51% to 46% to Obama. And the Rasmussen poll that came out today, Joy, now I know you probably don't even look at Rasmussen.
What about the poll?
The Rasmussen poll, excuse me, in all 11 swing states, the Rasmussen poll has Romney ahead 50% to 45% to Obama, and above 50% in the national poll.
But when Obama was ahead in the polls,
guess what?
This was the poll.
This poll today shows that Romney was effective, and like you know what he said.
Did Romney look bad?
He said the two polls that I said it came out today, both those polls. And wait, one more thing.
But he didn't include sampling from after
He
the
looked
debate.
at Obama and he said,
Impossible.
"Attacking me is not a foreign policy agenda."
Oh,
and that
poor
was
me.
and that's apparently clear.
I love it. Not only did Romney look bad talking about Syria, he was flip-flopping all night. Here's Obama calling him on his auto industry bailout flip-flop.
Governor Romney, you keep on trying to airbrush history here. You were very clear that you would not provide government assistance to the U.S. auto companies even if they went through bankruptcy. You said that they could get it in the private marketplace. That wasn't true. They would have gone through a liquid.
You're wrong, Mr. President.
No, I am not
You're
wrong. I am not
People
wrong.
can look it up. You're right.
People will look it up.
Good.
Okay.
New York Times article. Let's talk about it. Mitt Romney in 2008 wrote a New York Times article, and it said, "Let Detroit go bankrupt."
Yeah.
And what he was talking about, and the president wouldn't let him finish and
Well, we've
try
read
to
it,
misrepresent.
we've read it for months.
No, what he said
wanted
was,
it to go
"Can
bankrupt,
I finish,
Crystal?
Joy?"
Come
He did
on.
not. He said, "Let it have managed bankruptcy," so the unions wouldn't get paid out. And let's go back to Syria for a minute. Syria is getting arms from Iran. And Mitt Romney wasn't saying that Iran has access to the sea.
So what should we do?
He
Should
said
we
that
bomb
Syria
Iran?
has access to the sea, and we know Iran is funneling all kinds of weapons to Assad, who has butchered 30,000 civilians, while Barack Obama sits back and says, "You know what? You know what he said
What
that was
would
just
you or Mitt Romney
reprehensible?
do in that
You would
instance?
tell Assad early on, 2 years ago, that you weren't going to tolerate his butchering.
Romney doesn't have
and
a
say,
plan.
you know what? You know
What
what
is he
Obama
gonna
said?
do other than
Yes, he
copy
did.
what Obama
He
said?
said
I
he
think
wasn't
he's going to
copy
say
anything.
to Assad,
No,
"Don't
he's gonna
do that,
say-
please."
Don't do
and
that.
then
He's
it's
going to
all
say there's
gonna go away.
consequences for bad
Because,
behavior.
as Romney said, we
And
should
he's
all
not gonna
have
apologize
peace.
to the
Wait a
Muslim
minute.
world.
We should all have peace in the world. He's like a Miss America contest.
No, that's a Barack Obama.
contestant. No,
The
that was Romney last
the celebrity in
everybody
chief.
should be
The
happy and
celebrity
we
in
should
chief.
all have peace in
No,
the
no,
world.
it's not.
He's very
He
simplistic,
actually
like
talked
Ronald
about hope
Reagan.
and change and a plan
Mr.
to
Gorbachev,
create
tear
12
down
million
this wall.
jobs.
It's like elementary school conversations.
It really was.
Crystal, I can't tell you how I've enjoyed this. And Sam, you too. Next up, the very funny Kathy and Jimmy.